morning, everyone. My name is Mridula, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, MLR Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. Today I am going to give a lecture about single line diagram. These are the topics which I am going to discuss today, like single line diagram, the symbols which we use in single line diagram, its features and data required for drawing a single line diagram, and topics for the next lecture. What is a single line diagram? The single line diagram has its largest application in the power flow studies. SLD is also called a single line diagram, and sometimes it is also called as one line diagram. So SLD can be called as single line diagram as well as one line diagram, and it's a symbolic representation of electrical power system. It is the network which shows the main connections and arrangements of the system components in the data. Like different components can be used like transformers. Here you can see different components like transformers, generators, motors, bus bars, contactors. All these connections are being shown or being represented in the single line diagram. Electrical elements such as circuit breaker, transformers, capacitors, bus bars, conductors are shown by standardized schematic symbols. Like for each and every component, each and every element, there is a specific symbol, and based on these symbols, we can decide the voltage and current flow in a single line diagram. Here you can see different symbols which are used in the single line diagram. In single line diagram, we will be having different elements or different components. Like for each and every single line diagram, you should compulsorily have one input, or like you can say input source. That input source should be connected to a bus bar or line, or you can say main line. So the input source is connected to a bus bar, which is also called line or main line. This bus bar will be having different components like meters, protection devices, meters, switches. Meters, for example, we can take voltmeter to measure the voltage, ammeter to measure the current, wattmeter to measure the power. The power, again you have two types, that is active power and reactive power. So active power you will take it in kilowatts, reactive power you will take in kVAR. Next, protection devices. You have different protection devices like contactors, relays, circuit breakers. Contactors, relays, circuit breakers, all these comes under protection devices. So for each and every SLD diagram, input source should be there. That should be connected to the bus bar or a line. That should be connected to different meters. That meters may be a voltmeter, ammeter or wattmeter. And that will be again connected to protection devices. These meters are again connected to protection devices like contactors, relays and circuit breakers. So from this relays, we will again connect to output, or you can say loads. These relays are again connected to output, that is loads. That loads may be different types of loads. Here we can consider residential loads or commercial loads. So the loads can be residential loads and commercial loads. The voltage for residential loads is different. Voltage for commercial loads is different. For the residential loads, around 230 volts is enough. For commercial loads, we need 440 volts minimum voltage. So all these things are like the input or the different components which we use in the single line diagram should take all these criteria into consideration, like different loads. And for connecting these loads, we need to first measure the voltages, currents, we need to know the power capacity, we need to think about the protection devices. All these things should be present in the single line diagram. So for each and every component in the single line diagram, we do have different symbols. Here in this picture, you can see some of the symbols or some of the pictures which we use based on the voltage capacity or based on the power capacity. Here the first picture, you can see the fuse. This fuse is for 600 volts or less. That is, for less than 600 volts, this particular fuse symbol we will be using. The second one you can see, this is also a symbol of fuse, similar to the first one. Similar to this is also the symbol of fuse, but this is for less than 600 volts and this is for more than 600 volts. The third one is a circuit breaker. Here you can see the circuit breaker, one of the protection devices. This is 600 to 600 volts or less than 600 volts. Means this particular symbol is used for mostly 600 volts less than 600 volts. This is also the symbol of circuit breaker but for more than 600 volts. So these two are the symbols of fuses and these two are the symbols of circuit breakers protection. All these four are different types of protection devices. This is used for disconnecting, or like you can call this one as switch. You can call this one as switch, which is used for disconnecting a particular motor or a generator or any kind of component. If you want to temporarily disconnect from the main line, you will be using this disconnect symbol here. Next one is overload heater. This is the symbol for overload heater and this is the symbol for circuit breaker again, but this is draw out circuit breaker. This is also a symbol of draw out circuit breaker, but here it is less than 600 volts. This is more than 600 volts. So basically you can see all these are different types of protection devices which are being used at different points, at different lines also. This is one more protection device, that is lightning arrestor, which is compulsorily used for major industries. This is used for protecting the remaining lines from the lightning strokes or lightning strikes. This one is contactor, one more protection device. This is the symbol for generator, that is if it is G, we can call this one as generator. If it is M, we can call it as motor. This particular generator can be single phase generator or three phase generator. Motor also, it can be single phase motor or three phase motor. So based on the application, based on the load, we can take single phase as well as three phase generators as well as motors. This diagram shows you the symbol of transformer. This is also a alternate symbol for the transformer. Both are representing the symbols for transformers. Here these two also shows the symbols for transformer, but this arrow mark is there extra, that is without arrow mark. This one you call it as stable or fixed transformer. These two you can call it as variable transformer. These two are the symbols for fixed transformer and these two are the symbols for variable transformer. So, as you know, the transformer has a primary side as well as a secondary side. So, for representing this transformer, first we need to know the primary side voltage as well as the secondary side voltage. So this particular transformer, this voltage we need to know and this voltage we need to know, and the kVA capacity of this particular transformer also we need to know, which is being represented in the single line diagram, which is being represented or which is being shown in the single line diagram. Here you can see some more components, some more symbols. That is, the first one is the symbol for rectifier. Rectifier means which converts AC to DC. Rectifier means which converts AC to DC. This is the symbol for AC and this is the symbol for DC. So here you can see the symbol AC as well as DC here. This is the indication of inverter. Inverter means which converts DC to AC. Means the symbol should be this one and this is being converted to in this manner. So here you can see the representation, that is DC here and AC here. These two are the symbols for DC motor drive as well as AC motor drive. Here you can see different types of meters, that is voltmeter. Voltmeter means which measures the voltage, and ammeter which measures the current, wattmeter which measures the power, frequency which measures the frequency meter which measures the frequency, phase meter which measures the phase, VAR that means which measures the VAR. Next one is lamp, symbol for lamp. This is the symbol of kilowatt hour meter and this is the symbol of kilo VAR, that is this is for reactive power. This is for reactive power. This is for active power. So here you can see the different meters and this is one more thing, that is current transformer. This is potential transformer. One more name for current transformer is CT and for potential transformer another name is PT. So these are the symbols for CT and PT and this is the symbol of synchronization meter. So in your first picture you can see here different types of protection devices and in your second picture you can see different types of meters and that you can represent in the single line diagram. Features. What are the features of SLD or single line diagram? Here are some of the features like the power source, the location from top. Mostly the power source should be located on the top of the single line diagram to show the power path and we can easily follow the power path from this particular source. The second one is symbols. Standardized symbols should be followed in the single line diagram like circuit breakers, transformers, capacitors, bus bars and conductors. These are some of the examples for components. Next one is organization. Conventionally organized in left to right means the source should be mostly present on the left side. From the source, the load should be connected on the right side. So, the conveniently organized from left to right as well as top to bottom. So, the source should be mostly placed, the main source should be placed on the left side top position, and from there the power will be distributed to different bus bars, different components from top to bottom in a sequential manner. As the switchgear and other apparatus are required for controlling in this SLD system. SLD system are important for electrical safety and are main resource for calculating the short circuit currents. It is the main source for calculating the short circuit currents as well as determining the selective protection coordination. For selective protection coordination and calculating the energy. They are also the first step of preparing the critical response plan. Before itself, to prepare for the critical response plan, the SLD is required. So, finally, SLD is required for safety purposes and for calculating the currents and for calculating the critical and for preparing for the critical response plan. Data for drawing the SLD. What all data do we require for drawing a single line diagram? Like, first one is cable sizes. We need to know the size of the cable, the number of cables do we require, and the length of the cables should be known. Based on that only we can draw the SLD diagram. Next one is transformer connection. The input, that is the primary and secondary connections of a particular transformer, its kVA rating, that is kilovolt ampere rating, and voltage levels of that particular transformer, whether it is a step up transformer or step down transformer, single phase or three phase. All these terms should be known before itself for drawing the single line diagram, and its impedance values also. Same way, we need to know the generator voltage and its kilowatt capacity. For motor, we need to know the HP, that is horsepower, and for generator, we need to know the kilowatt capacity. For transformer, we need to know the kVA capacity of that particular transformer to connect in the SLD diagram. The current as well as voltage ratios for a instrument transformers. So, before designing a single line diagram, we need to know all these terms. Once again, I'll tell you that cable sizes, length of the cables, and number of cables. And for transformers, we need to know the kVA rating and the connections for primary as well as secondary side. For generator, we need to know the kilowatt capacity. For motor, we need to know the horsepower capacity. This is an example of single line diagram, a simple example of single line diagram, where we can see here two generators, that is generator A and generator B. Here we can see an ammeter which is connected to this particular line to measure the line current, and here we have a transformer which is delta and star connected. A transformer which is primary side it is connected delta and secondary side it is star connected. Here also you have one more transformer that is delta and star connected. Here we have three motors, motor 1, motor 2 as well as motor 3. So, we have two generators, three motors which are being connected, and two transformers. This is the symbol of circuit breaker and this is the symbol of contactor. So this is the symbol of breaker. This is the symbol of breaker. Here you can see the voltage 480 volts and this is also a 480 volts. This particular line represents 4160 volts. This is also a symbol of breaker and this is also breaker. So totally we have 2 generators, 3 motors, 2 transformers, 2 circuit breakers, an ammeter and 3 breakers with a switch here and here. 2 switches are also connected. So this is a small example to show the single line, simple single line diagram. Key components of a single line diagram. These are the key components for the single line diagram, like the power sources. Power sources should be compulsorily present, like the generator should be there for a single line diagram to represent the origin of the electrical power, to represent the origin of the from where the power is being consumed. So the input should always be present or depicted as it is depicted as a circle or a rectangle with a sinusoidal waveform. It is shown with a sinusoidal waveform. Next one is distribution elements. Distribution elements or bus bars should be compulsorily present. The horizontal or vertical lines that distribute power to the different parts of the system. These distribution elements are nothing but the bus bars which are being represented by a horizontal or vertical dark lines. Next one are protection devices. Compulsorily protection devices should be there for each bus bar and loads. Load is nothing but the output. Power source is nothing but the input. So for every single line diagram, one input should be there and the distribution elements should be there. To this we have to connect the protection devices. To this we have to connect protection devices and this protection devices ultimately give the output to the loads. So these are the minimum components which should be present in the SLD diagram. Topics for the next lecture are like electrical safety practices and few electrical safety devices which are being used in this single line diagram. Thank you.